Yeah, I mean, that's basically what was born out of it. That's what Muhammad did. He was a guy who took over the
Oh,
world through conquest, and that's what started the Crusades. Was they kept taking shit over, and so we had to go in and not we, but you know, the Catholic Church had to go in and fucking start killing Muslims because they were, you know, taking shit over. That's just how, you know, it. I don't know. And you would think that, oh, maybe it would have died out then. No, I mean, it rose out of that. It rose out of those ashes. So to say that it's gonna go away, I don't think it's Islam is here to stay. You know, it just is. You know.
Look, even it's not. I mean, you know, the way I think of it is this way. Like these things will never quite go away, and quite frankly, the whole notion of, I mean, okay, let's look at it this way. There is too much that we won't know, and this uncertainty bothers people. And you know, most people are, you know, they're trying to find, you know, meaning to life. They're trying to get some meaning to life, and if you know, it's easier if you have some explanation than you know, than somebody tell you, well, it's
Oh shit.
uncertainty. You know, most people prefer to have some answers to some questions, you know.
Right.
Like, you know, is there life after death? Is there a divine supervision of some kind? Does it matter whether I do something or not? You know, some people want answers to these questions, and they'd rather take the make believe than you know, face the brutal reality that, you know, we are inconsequential. Sorry, and there is no, you know, there is no benevolent or whatever. There's no eye looking at us. We are looking at ourselves. Um, so with regards to, again, with regards to blind belief, that's not going to go away. Even I believe in, you know, in people, even though I don't know them very well,
Fuck, man.
because I just can't know them very well. Um, so, but again, what I'm trying to point towards is this. Ultimately, everybody wants to, most people want to live. And yes, in ideology, you might want to die. And I mean, I know what it's like to feel suicidal because I've been. You know, there are times when the urge to die is probably as strong as the urge to live, maybe even outweighs it. And of course, some people, you know, go the distance. But for the most part, if people want to live, they don't want to, you know, when it's winter, they don't want to be out in the cold unless they're children. When it's summer, they want to be in a cool place. When they're thirsty, they want to drink water. What I mean is we're still very animal
Yeah.
like. And I don't care how good your religion is and how strong your belief is. Again, the children won't take it for very long. Again, when they get used to, again, when winter is cold, you're at home and, you know, warm, or you have warm clothes, when you have food in your belly, it's hard to give that up. It doesn't matter how long and how strong your beliefs are, you know. Very few people can take that to the, you know, very few people can translate their belief into action until the end. Actually, very few people can take that to the end, you know what I mean? Most people break.
But we don't need most people, remember?
Yeah, but
It doesn't have to be most people.
when you start getting, when you start,
It
but
could be 1 in 4.
there is also another thing though, and another good point to make is that there are no you know, you try and think of values that go beyond just the, you know, the you know, because if you, like most people, to them the most important thing is to have money, status, and so on. And you're like, well, is this all to life there is? Paying bills and working and sleeping and eating, is that all to life? You know, so there are no answers on this end either. um
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
there's still people here that do stuff like that still do, you know, extreme terrorist acts, and they live decent lives and they make decent money, and
Oh yes, 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 yes,
I mean, it
undeniably
still
so.
happens.
It will keep on happening anyways. This will never stop.
Well, because it's like you said, you know, if you were to accept it, well, we're all gonna just, if we, you know, you die, it's just blank or whatever. There's no meaning. Then, but here's the thing: is people are always searching for that. It's like you said, and if they're reading a book and it says if they, you know, committed jihad and then they go to heaven, and that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, but then, you know, you check your watch and the game starts in 15 minutes. You're like, okay, I'll just watch this game, and then it's always like that. Actually, there is a cool video, humor video, and asteroid is on its way to collide with Earth, and you know, one of the chief scientists is you know, the man is worried, and he's like, this and that, and we're going to fire these missiles, and we're going to blow the thing up, and maybe we'll minimize the destruction. And then the general who's supposed to pull the trigger, he's like, nah, we can leave it, it's fine, you know, the Earth will heal itself, we don't need human, you know, just a nihilistic, just a barrage of nihilistic ideas, and everybody's happy and everybody's smiling. But then the guy's like, wait, when is the new Star Wars movie coming out? And one of the people there is like, oh, that's in a week time. Cancel everything, fire the rockets. So you know, that's exactly how I see it. Like, you know, everybody would want the end of the world and death and destruction, and you know, because you know, the nihilistic thought is actually pretty dangerous as well, if you think about it. But when all is said and done, you know, you're like, I'm gonna kill myself, and you're like, oh, but actually I'm hungry first, so let's get something to eat. You know, or I'm like, oh, let the world burn. But then, you know, next thing you know, a game is coming out. Let's say, you know, Destiny 2 comes out in a few months. I'm like, okay, maybe the world can wait a few, so I can actually see what this is all about. You know, it's always like that. You just have to keep your mind busy. And I think we should just you know, give people the opportunity to keep their minds busy with you know, I don't know, Hell's Kitchen and
Bread and circus.
Yeah, just exactly. But it's what keeps you busy. It keeps you, you know, it keeps your thoughts at, you know, away from just very dangerous, some very dangerous ideas. You know, like, you know, kids in no time to go and have your football practice or whatever, or piano lessons or whatever. You know, you just stop thinking about blowing yourself up. They don't think about it.
I don't think it's going to be the case, though.
Well, most probably not. I mean, at least not in the news, that's for sure. The news are not a good source of...
And regardless, these countries that are taking these refugees in are losing their culture. I mean, they're not losing it in 20 years. They're losing it right now. And like I said, they're not integrating, though. That's the thing. These people are not integrating. They're having, this isn't an immigration thing where a couple people are coming in, where they're bringing in thousands of people and they're all just living near each other, which means they're just bringing the country in with them. They're not integrating in.
No, they won't. Yeah, they probably won't. The first few generations will not integrate.
But they're going to continually live around each other. It's still going to be their life. It's still going to be how they live.
But it's going to be hard. And,
I mean, it's just like when, I mean, people live in the States, and you wonder how, like, people can go so many generations and, you know, just speak Spanish or whatever, you know, like how, or even just like, not even go for generations, but people coming in the States and don't know a lick of English at all, like, and have been here for, I don't even know how long, but you have to know something, you know, like, you're clearly within your own community, you know. It's kind of like when immigrants came in from Ellis Island in the States. They went to New York City, and, you know, for a while during the 20s and things, it was, they had, you know, you had Little China, and, or basically you had Chinatown and Little Italy and all those other things in the States, in the city, like, because you didn't have actual integration. You had people just moving in along with each other. And even today, even to this day, you can still go to Chinatown in places like, you know, LA and, you know, New York City and stuff, you know, so it's still like that.
Yeah. thing is, it again, the older people will never adapt. My parents are not adapting, even though they speak a bit. You know, I have lived in the UK for 10 years, and I don't feel at home. I don't feel that I belong to this place at all. Regardless of whether you know, I understand what is being said to me, and I understand what's written on the, you know, in the newspapers, or what's being said on TV. So that's you know, but again, if you enforce it with law, for example, in schools you learn first language is the language of your country, second language whatever language you want to pick, because that's what they do in Bulgaria, you know, and they actually started doing this from very early age. You start with Bulgarian, then you can learn Turkish if you can learn English if you want to. That's enforceable by law. So again, the children, when they start going to kindergarten, willingly or unwillingly, they're going to learn that, because they won't get you know, further in education. If they don't get further in education, they won't get a job. If they don't get a job, you depend on benefits. However, if they cut your benefits, then you turn to crime. But not everybody wants to do crime. Not everybody wants to turn to crime. And if you turn to crime,
benefits are a crime.
Yes, they kind of. I mean, no, it's hit and miss, really, because some people need them and they should be helped, but some people clearly abuse them, and
well,
they also need help.
It's essentially saying that if you don't, people are gonna turn to stealing if the government doesn't steal for them. Is basically what that's saying. The government has to do it so that, you know, because the government is the almighty. And that's the other thing, you know, like that's just the other thing, is all these people that want, you know, immigrants to come in, nobody wants to put them in their own home. Nobody wants to put them in on their own dollar.
No.
But they want it at everyone else's expense. And they're okay with that, sure.
Let's be sure we're not attacking them. We are,
you know? It's just like, it just fucking kills me. It's just like when people say, well, we need more taxes. Okay. Well, either, you know, send more money to the Department of the Treasury. Okay. If you don't like that, donate your money to nonprofit organizations. Like, everybody that tells me that we need to pay more in taxes does not donate any of their own money.
Oh yeah, it's
the same fucking thing. You know, it just drives me nuts.
It's a good idea to share wealth, but the problem is
not at gunpoint.
Yeah, and really, you know, it turns out, you know, because what happens is wealth is shared between the, you know, it's like, so like businesses share wealth between them. And then you know, lower class people share wealth between them. But I'm sorry, but the pool of wealth of the lower class people in business or corporations it's just the difference is so vast. It doesn't.
Yeah, it is, but it's really because we didn't always have that in the States, at least. We didn't always have the upper and then lower class. We had upper, middle, and lower. Middle class it's going away. That's the thing. That's the problem. And it's going away because of taxation, because of the very thing, partially because of taxation, but also because of consolidation laws. Basically laws that consolidate businesses and don't allow people to get started so that they can become prosperous and so that they can actually make it. It's just like, if Bill Gates were to start Microsoft today, he would get shut down.
Oh yeah.
There's no way. My friend started, he tried starting a business, he got shut down. They came in. There's so much tape you have to go through now. That's why companies, it's consolidation. It's basically, that's why you see Walmarts everywhere and you don't see small businesses. And a big part of it is because people, when there are small businesses, they don't go to them. That's the other part. So we've just become comfortable with this lifestyle, but that's why I don't agree. People can bitch about it all they want to, but unless you're willing to put your money where your mouth is, it really doesn't matter. It's kind of the whole thing. And like I said, I mean, if people want, with taxation is killing people. It's this self-fulfilling prophecy of taxing people so that we can pay people. Because the thing is, I mean, you got to understand, this is why this works in politics, because the average person is not rich, and the average person does not understand the mentality of a rich person. A rich person will not take things lying down, okay, as far as money is concerned. Somebody who has money didn't get to where they are by just letting their money go through their hands, by like you know, sand through their fingers. You know, they have their money